Welcome back to the Marriagepreneurs Podcast, the space where faith meets strategy, partnership meets purpose, and legacy becomes a lifestyle. I'm your host, LaKisa Taylor-Allston, and today we're talking about something that every couple, every entrepreneur, and every legacy builder needs to understand. If you want to build wealth, you must first learn how to build well, because wealth is not just about money. Wealth is structure, unity, is vision. Wealth is communication, is systems, and is partnerships. And this right here is one of the reasons why I created the Make Money Marriage 5-Day Challenge, because couples want wealth, but they don't always know how to build a foundation that wealth requires. Today, we're going to talk about what it means to build well so that you can build wealth together. Okay, I'm all about the truth. You cannot build wealth on confusion or chaos or misalignment because it requires you to be unified for clarity and it requires agreement. And the first day of the Make Money Marriage Challenge is about having a shared vision. Because if you and your spouse are not building the same thing, if you're not going in the same direction with the same intention, you're not building wealth, you're building tension. A shared vision answers questions like, what are we building? Why are we building it? What does success look like for us? What does legacy mean for our home? When you have a shared vision, you stop pulling against each other and you start pulling with each other. In the last couple of episodes, we talked about the marriage mindset and the entrepreneurial mindset. And all of this is a key to setting up you as a couple having a shared vision. So on day 2, the second thing that we will get into is a strength inventory, roles and expectations. You've heard me say a lot, take an assessment of your gifts so you can even figure out what type of business you may want to have together, or if you both have entrepreneurial endeavors or entrepreneurial mindset, how will you use your gifts? How will you use your purpose to build and or to help others? And then how will you support each other through this? So as we define and clarify our intentions, we want to know who does what. We want to know who will carry what and who is gifted for what. A lot of couples just become frustrated in this process because they're incompatible and because they're unclear. You cannot build wealth if you're both doing the same thing. I use an example of an event planner, and men and women can be event planners. But if you're both the event planner, who's doing possibly some of the other components that help you be successful in your business? You could be co-event planners possibly, but even with that, you have to evaluate the strengths of who's handling what. Maybe one is better at logistics, while the other is better at decorating or lighting or booking entertainment. You both avoid the same thing. If you're avoiding communicating, if you're avoiding tension points or obstacles in your marriage, you cannot build wealth together. If you're both expecting the other to do something that neither of you agreed to, you cannot build wealth. Again, you have to have a really good communication plan. And with that, before that is about having a conversation about who should handle this, who should lead. You're both operating outside of your strengths, meaning you may be pulling your talents and gifts away from what you're doing. So then you feel drained in the process of what you're trying to accomplish, rather than feeling energetic because you're working in your purpose and in your strengths. So a strength inventory will help you to identify what you're naturally good at, what drains you, so you know what tasks to stay away from. Maybe your mate is good at that task, or maybe that's something you need to outsource. What energizes you? Then you want to look at what your spouse thrives in. What role makes sense for each of you? This is not about gender. It's about gifts. When you build according to your strengths, you build faster, smoother, and with less friction. I use myself as an example a lot because, again, my husband and I have the home improvement business. When I go to the design appointments, I'm putting together the plan, the vision. I try to feel how my couples may want to walk into the room that we're remodeling or renovating. My husband, who's a contractor, is then going to come in with the hammer and nail. And I always jokingly say to my clients, I'm not the one coming with the hammer and nail. Both of us are considered contractors, but I'm not the one coming. Now, I will chip in on the paint job sometimes, or I can put some knobs on. I don't mind doing anything, but I moved to a place where he has the strength qualities to get the design done and the carpentry skills and all of that to make beautiful renovation and remodel projects. So I just let him do that. And that has allowed us to be successful in our company, Moolah Home and Design. On the third day of our Make Money Marriage Challenge, whether you're taking this challenge in the spring or the fall, it's going to be the same schedule. But the third thing that we want to talk about is creating systems so that we can build well together. We want to set up our home and business systems. Systems are the secret sauce of wealth. Wealthy people don't just work harder, they work smarter. They automate, delegate, streamline, and simplify. Those systems then create in their home and business peace, predictability, productivity, and profit. When your home has systems, you eliminate the unnecessary stress. When your business has systems, you eliminate the unnecessary chaos. It helps you to save time, energy, money. It definitely will reduce arguments, and it will increase efficiency. A system is simply a repeatable process that makes life easier. And that may be getting dinner out on certain nights of the week. And I'm not saying going out, but maybe you're picking up from your favorite restaurant. That may look like having the home cleaned professionally once a month. That's important to me because I want a clean space to work in. Sometimes when it's super busy and my husband and I are coming and going and coming, I have to have that option to have our cleaning crew come so that the house and fresh linens and fresh bathrooms can be consistent so that we can be productive. So it's systems like that, and it's other systems that whatever works for you that you may need to think about. It might be lawn service. Don't reduce your systems to thinking about gender roles. You may have an expectation that your spouse is to cut the grass if you have grass in your house or do some other type of husband work. But it may need to be outsourced. So be thinking about that for you and for him. On the fourth day, what's also I found to be important is then putting your plans in place. Anytime you are setting out any goals and objectives, you want to be able to put plans in place. They have to become real in real time because it's not just a dream. It's not a wish. It's not a hope. You have to be intentional. Being intentional means you have a roadmap. You're being strategic and you are committed to the process. You cannot build wealth without having a plan. So a plan obviously answers, what are we doing? How are we doing it? What resources do we need? What steps will come first? And again, we'll go through exercises like creating the short wins because those plans turn vision into action, the ideas into income, and potential into progress. Couples who plan together build together. They grow together, and again, they prosper together. That is how you build well. And number 5 is about the 5th day. We talk about communication and building your foundation. This is something that you have to build well. Your foundation is everything. You cannot build on poor communication, hidden resentment, unspoken expectations, financial secrets, emotional distance, or lack of trust. Your foundation is certainly going to include your faith, your communication, your unity, your family, your morals, your values, your financial habits, and your emotional connection. A strong foundation makes wealth sustainable, A weak foundation makes wealth stressful. When your foundation is strong, you can build anything. You can build your business, a brand, a legacy, a movement. That's again how you build well. And when it all comes together and all ties together, the communication is not just talking, it's understanding, it's having clarity, it's your connection. You can not build wealth with someone you cannot communicate with. Effective communication helps you make decisions, solve problems, share the ideas, navigate conflict, and stay aligned. Communication is the glue that holds the vision, the roles, the systems, and the plans in place. Without the communication, everything falls apart. Everything comes together with communication. Again, that is building well. So here's the truth. If you want to build wealth, you must first learn how to build well. Not accidentally, not just based on luck. It's not random. Wealth is the result of vision, clarity, systems planning, foundation, communication, and partnership. And again, that's why I created the Make Money Marriage Challenge. It's just 5 days to help you and your mate build well so that you can build wealth. When you build, your marriage is aligned, your money flows differently. Your systems will be strong, your stress decreases, your vision is clear, and your progress accelerates. Your communication is more healthy, and your partnership thrives. You deserve it. You deserve the wealth, the peace, the legacy, and the alignment. It all starts with building well. Thank you for joining me today. If this episode blessed you, share with another couple who's ready to build something beautiful. And don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. www.themarriagepreneurs.com. Until next time, keep building, keep believing, and keep blossoming into everything God has called you to be.